Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So we're excited to kind of start this new rotation of team calls. So tonight's call is a getting started right. The cool thing about this call is it's really for coaches who are new, coaches who are diving in, coaches to take the time to maybe, I don't know, maybe you've been coaching for a while and you want to plug yourself back in and see how things are going. So what we're going to do tonight is take some time to welcome our new coaches. Then I'm going to just do some business basics. Michelle's going to go over some social media basics, and then we have question and answer at the end. So as you guys grow your teams, you will be onboarding your own coaches, but this is a time for us to kind of powwow together and highlight some important things as a team. And it'll be the first Monday of every month. So Michelle, you want to go ahead and introduce your coaches?
Yes. So I think actually the only new person we have on here tonight is Alexis, who has two twin boys. I cannot imagine what that's like. Although Andrea can. We've had conversations about that. But anyway, I got to know Alexis through our Lenten group, and we just got to talking about, just the passion and wanting to make a difference and wanting to just help people change their lives, specifically women. So I was so excited when I signed into my online office today and I saw that she signed up. I was like, oh my gosh. I was on the call with Kelly and I was like, oh my gosh, she signed up. So welcome to the team. Thank you for taking the leap and joining us, girl.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Well, cool. Well, what I'm going to do tonight for you guys is cover a couple things about our team page to help you kind of navigate where things are, and then cover what we call our simple business plan and kind of highlight some important things to notice or look over. And then if you have questions, you can type them in the chat as they pop up. Like I got some of your questions, Andrea, and I think I'm going to end up answering them in some of what I'm saying. But if I miss something, just type them in, and then once Michelle's done, we'll kind of come back to the questions at the end.
And real quick, and just don't, as well as we're going through this, if you have social media questions that kind of pop up, just use the chat. That's what we use the chat to chat. You're not being rude if you use it to talk while we're sharing. That's just, part of it. So we always go back and scroll through.
Yes. So, okay, cool deal. So basically, one of the things I'm going to recommend that you do when you go in our team page is if you go to the description of the team page, testing 1, 2, 3. No, sorry. If you go to the description of the team page, you will notice some important things that are posted there. There will be like the rotation of our team calls and other important links to help you. So some of the things that are in that description, which is if you are looking at like the header, it's on the right column. You will find a link to the Team Fearless Freedom Family Google Drive. This is the drive that has all of our Power Hour sheets of paper to help tracking. It has all of our challenge group templates saved. It has meal plans, trainings that we've saved, just important information. It's a great just place to go look for things. And you can always ask, but say you want to run a free challenge, there's a bunch of free challenges in there. So that link is in the description. The other things that are also in the description are what to do when you sign up a new coach, and it's how to train your new coach checklist, the simple business plan checklist, which I'm going to talk a little bit about tonight. There's also you got a new challenger. Here's a how to coach your challenger checklist. And it's just things you can print off to kind of help you walk you through the steps. And obviously your coach is also there to help you with that. But those are some important tools that are available. The Team Fearless Freedom Family, so long, YouTube channel link is there. All of our team calls are saved on our YouTube channel, as well as other personal development things. So that link is there. There's also a link to set up one-on-one calls with Michelle or myself anytime that if you want a one-on-one mentoring call, or if you want to set one up with some of you in your downline, you can click that to do it. That doesn't change. It's always in the description. And then there's also two other things. Team Courage has a website that has a ton of resources. So that link is there. And as well as a document that has old coach opportunity webinars recorded. So if you're ever looking to send something to someone, that's a good place to go and be able to pull a link to send. And so that's kind of like I guess you would say like the basic holding place to kind of have the information. The other thing you want to be aware of for our team is every Monday we have what we call our weekly forecast. Michelle and I take turns posting it. It'll always be pinned to the top of the team page for the entire week. It highlights like what challenge groups are coming up, what the team call is going to be about, training opportunities we have, events that are coming up like Super Saturday that's this weekend or Summit that's this summer. And then in the video, we kind of walk you through some of it and also just share a tip for the week, something to kind of help you with your journey, help you as a coach, help you as a challenger,
Connor,
and help you grow in your journey. So you want to make sure you take some time to listen to that every week. The National Wake Up Call is also something else you want to make sure you listen to. You can listen to it live on Mondays, or if you have, you can get the podcast. There's a Beachbody podcast that you can download on your phone, which is cool because then you can listen to it at your leisure, which is what I usually do. But this is a great, like I heard, I didn't listen to the one today, but Shalene Johnson did the one today, and it was supposed to be really good. So I'm looking forward to going back to listen to that. So that's kind of just some general stuff about our team page to help kind of navigate it. So in our team resources, on the side, the simple business plan. This is something that was passed down to us from Team Courage, which is kind of like our great grandma team, like the big huddle. And it's got some great resources here to kind of help you get started. So when you print this off, I would put it in a binder or a folder. Some of it you'll use right away. Some of it you'll use later. Some of it you might not use. That's okay. I really feel that there's enough really good information found in the business plan that you should take the time with your coach to kind of go through it. And I'm going to just highlight a few things on it today. One thing that you can find that's tempting in this business is you could very easily have death by training. There's so much training available between the online office and YouTube and our team page and The Rock and Team Courage and Finish Line Leader and the app. You could drown yourself in training and never actually successfully talk to anyone else. So that's not what we want. And so what I love about this is it kind of gives you a guideline of the basics. But if you find something down the road that works for you differently, that's good too. Don't feel like it's a structured, rigid, we're going to grade you test at the end kind of thing. It's a resource. So everything I'm sharing tonight is a resource. The number one thing you're going to want to do with your simple business plan when you first sign up is this. There's an instruction, the first link you'll click, which will have how to set up your online office. It's a really simple thing to do, but that's something you want to make sure you set up with your EFT so that if anyone orders through you, you get your money directly deposited into your bank. Otherwise, you have to wait for them to mail you a check. You want to make sure you take the time to kind of get to know what's going on. If you do this, there's a little video you watch when you click on it. It'll show you like where your customer orders will show up and different things in your online office to kind of give you an idea. There's also a Coach Mobile app, which is really cool. So you can actually check things on your phone, which is nice because we used to have to go through the browser to use it, and it was like teeny tiny scripting. And they're always updating the Coach Mobile, which is really exciting because it just keeps it current. You can actually also access the National Wake Up Call that way. The most important things I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight are kind of like the 4 big things, and then I'll hand it over to Michelle. Tonight is about laying a foundation. You and your sponsor coach will work through the foundation, and then if you decide at this point you've signed up for this to be a business builder, the 3rd Monday of every month, our team call is a business builder mastermind call where we will dig more into this stuff. You're welcome to ask questions tonight, but I'm just letting you know, like, if you feel like, I didn't get it all, that's kind of why you have a sponsor, and it's why the team page is there to ask questions. And then that call is going to help you guys lay more and more of that foundation for your goals. So the things I wanted to talk to y'all about tonight, number 1, you want to make sure that you are kind of following what we call a rule of 5. And this was passed down to us from Tracy Morrow. She's a founding coach, our top leader above the leaders. And she learned this from John C. Maxwell, who's one of my favorite, I think Michelle would say the same, mentors in leadership. But the number one thing you need to be doing as a coach is being a product of the product. Every day you grow. You need to be reading personal development, working out, and drinking your Shakeology. We cannot help other people if we're not helping ourselves. We can't inspire other people if we're not taking steps in our journey. Our journey does not need to be perfect. We don't have to be finished. One of my favorite lines, I'm quoting Sarah Kroger, is we can be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. That needs to be on a shirt. You know what I'm saying? So, but you need to be working on you because that's why you're here. I mean, it's why you signed up. Whether it's for the community or in the discount or build some business or make a little extra money to go on a date night, if you're not feeling good about you, you can't help others. So that's the number one, growing. Number two is connecting. On the Simple Business Plan, it's going to tell you to make a list of 100 names. By the age of 18, everyone knows like 2,000 people. So what this is you're like brain dumping 100 people on a piece of paper. We are not going to say, okay, now go invite all of them today. It's to clear your brain. It's to get them out so that you can continue to think. Because if you're excited about this, you could think like, oh my gosh, I would love to talk to that person. So write them down. And then you can talk with your PS coach about the list and say, here are the people I think I could actually reach out to and say, hey, I'm starting this program next week, PIO. You want to do it with me? And they can help you with that. And then some people you'll look and think, I haven't talked to them in years. So you'll just start building a relationship. That's how we connect. We also connect by sharing what we're doing on social media or just sharing by being a positive person around other people. It's not icky marketing in your face. You're not going to send someone a message that's like, I'm having a party and add them to a group and send them a link. I mean, that's happened to a lot of us, and that's not what we do. We're just connecting. So that list is very important. And I recommend if you haven't done it yet, you go ahead and get cracking on the list, because I tell you, the more you procrastinate it, you'll actually feel a lot of freedom when you start to write it down. Way to go, girl. That's awesome. And you're going to add to that list every day. That's why you want to get the names out, because when you get them out, then you have more space in your brain to think of more people. So you want to follow up with people. You want to have a tracking system. So we have the 12-day new coach training. It's part of the Simple Business Plan. One of the days in there is a day that there's a video on tracking, and it walks through the papers that I have or like put together in an ARC book that Michelle and I came up with, an ARC system. Those papers are a BAT and a list. That's what you need to start with, a business activity tracker and an invite list. And they're found in our Google Drive. That's what you start with. As you grow, you can incorporate the other forms and papers that work for you. And that's kind of something your coach can help you with. What I recommend people do is they print them off. They put them in a binder. A month later, the ones they haven't used, they throw away. You know what I'm saying? But at least you've gotten a system down. But you want to be tracking your follow-up. So following up with people when you message them, following up with people when you meet them. That's how this goes from sales that are just pushing things to relationship building. When someone says they can't and you still check in with them because you genuinely want to know how their month is doing, that builds trust. And that's something we want to be doing. So that follow-up is so important, and tracking it is important. We want to be tracking our business. And then the last thing is taking time to plan. Someone asked my planner. I use the Blessed Is She planner. I think they're coming out with a new one. Sarah told me they were going to release one for the school year. So it'll be like the school year starting in the summer. It's a great planner. Planner Pad is also a great planner. Passion Planner is a great planner. Happy Planner. There's so many good planners out there. But you want to have something because it's going to help you. These are the things you want to plan. When you're going to work out, when you're going to drink your Shakeology, when you're going to do if you're working this business, you need to set an office hour or 2 half hours, like break it into, or 3, 4, 15-minute periods of time. But set time aside that you're going to let yourself dig in and work the business. That's something that's important. The couple last things I was going to hit on tonight. You want to be in a challenge group. We have these fit clubs. When you first sign up, you're going to be in your sponsor's challenge group for a while. But as you grow in your journey, and if you start to grow a team, or even if you don't have a team yet, you pair up with other coaches. You can run your own groups. You can run free groups. I think Elizabeth and Emily ran a Fitbit challenge last month. You can run 5-day Shakeology groups. Like, what's cool about this is that when you kind of step out in faith and you try something new with another coach on the team, you learn things about yourself as a leader. And these are things your coach can guide you to do. But you want to be participating in the challenge group by getting that experience, and you know what you're inviting people to. Personal volume and Success Club. Every time you place an order, that's personal volume. Success Club points are awarded when you sell Shakeology HD or challenge packs, and you get 2 Success Club points for either a Shakeology HD, which is cool because it used to be just 1, or 2 for a challenge pack. What does that mean? Well, the company has set it up where if you reach 5 Success Club points, meaning you've helped 3 new people, because you can't get repeat points for the same people over and over. Every month, they will reward you with recognition. They give gifts. Like, I think last month you got a performance pack of all the samples. One month you get like a tank top or a t-shirt. You can earn trips. Like, Michelle's going to be going to Punta Cana with Mayana. Sadly, I can't go because I have a baby on the way and they won't let me. My doctor said no. Anyway, I'm over it. But you earn trips. Also, Success Club to me is a benchmark. If I'm helping 3 new people every month, it means I'm continually reaching out to new people. And over time, I'm going to grow income and grow my reach. So it's a great benchmark that you want to hit. Emerald rank is the first rank that that happens when you sign up 2 coaches underneath you that you sponsor, one on your right leg and one on your left. It's a great step. If you're building this business, it's the first step you need to be taking. A lot of times what people do is they sign up their spouse or a family member on one side, or they'll do their spouse and a family member, or a spouse and a friend. When should you do this? You would sign up like your spouse once you have your other person, because you need both to be Emerald, and it doesn't make sense to be paying for a second business center fee until you have the second coach, if that makes sense, Andrea. So like that way you immediately go Emerald, and that $16 investment is worth it. Now, you can sign them up with a challenge pack. I know we all have all access, most of us, so we have access to all the programs. But if you think about it, sometimes if you signed up with a challenge pack, since you're going to be getting Shakeology through that business center, you could get a program that's $10, and that's actually a great giveaway that you could have even as an incentive later, but it's up to you. She had asked about that. But with Emerald rank, when you hit Success Club, the company rewards you with leads. Like Eileen posted today, I have these 2 people in my customers and I don't know who they are. It's because she's been hitting Success Club. So the company gave her leads. These are free customers. If you hit Success Club 10, they actually give you Shakeology leads and you get commission from that. So that's like a perk of Emerald. I'm not going to talk beyond the Emerald rank, but Emerald cycle, and that's the last thing I was going to talk about, where the volume, instead of just personal volume, you start to have team volume from your coaches that are underneath you, and you can earn every time you cycle, which is when you have 200 on one side and 100 on the other. You get 300 points total. There's a video about this in the Simple Business Plan, but you make $14 a cycle. Emeralds can make up to $250 a week that way. So it's another way of making money. And this is something that we'll talk more about in that mastermind. I was talking about like the 3rd week of how to kind of maximize the comp plan at different levels. And in the mastermind group, Michelle and I do with our big business builders who are really digging in. But I wanted to kind of do an overview so you understand that in this business, you earn through commission, but also once you hit Emeralds, you start to earn through building your team and helping your team reach other people. And so it's really a business of serving, and it's a great just way that this company rewards us for not only helping people in our reach, but helping others reach more people. So I wanted to kind of cover that tonight. The last thing I wanted to tell you is, in the heart of all of this, the most important thing you can do every day is continue to work on your journey and share who you are. Because all of the how-tos, you can ask the team page, you can ask your coach, you'll figure it out as you go. Like, I'm still learning stuff, and that's okay. Don't try to master the training material, because people don't care about it anyway. Like, meaning when you're talking to someone about Shakeology, they want to know why you drink it, not the ingredients in it. And if they want to know the ingredients in it, you can find out and send them a PDF of the ingredients. But if they reach out to you, it's because your story is inspiring them more than, that's why a lot of times, and this is something that we have a lot of resources of, if someone comes to you and says, how much, there's some really great scripts you can read through to get ideas. But a lot of times you want to get beyond that and get beyond the objections, get beyond the fears. And if we get stuck in our head of trying to have the perfect thing to say, we don't really listen to the other person. And this is a business of really listening. And the best way to listen to the other person is if you're working on your journey, then you can share your experience and connect that way, which is kind of why you're probably here. You know what I'm saying? Because you felt that connection and that made you want to find out and do more. So that's kind of the basics of the business side of stuff. The key with all of this, though, is social media is like that bridge, which is why tonight we wanted to, Michelle, kind of cover some of social media with you guys, some basics. And then I'll kind of read through some of the questions as she's talking, and then we'll kind of come back. How's that sound?
Awesome. Awesome. I love having this fun job, but I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Kelly to help explain everything else. No. Anyway, one of the, as you grow, you're going to have a lot of questions. And that, again, like what Kelly said, when you have those questions, post them in the team page, reach out to her and I. Some of this stuff might be overwhelming at first, but that's why coming to these calls, like we're going to have a GSR call every month. Our first call of the month is going to be this. That's why coming again and listening again and asking new questions is good, because you're going to only retain maybe 20% of what we teach you, if that, because it's a lot. So I actually have a handy dandy PowerPoint to share with you. So here we go. So why social media? One of the biggest things that I get from people, and I know that Kelly's gotten, a lot of us have, especially with the kind of like we tend to attract moms that are a little more on the conservative side sometimes, is the fear of being too open on social media, or why do I have to do this social media thing? And there's really good reason why. First of all, it expands your market, especially if we're stay-at-home moms. We don't have to go out and do parties. You can go out and do parties, and they could turn into getting new coaches and stuff, but we don't have to go out and get parties. But we do have to meet new people to be successful. And social media is one of the most amazing ways to get out and make a difference. I can tell you right now, when I first started Beachbody, was what you see of me today on social media. That was not me. It was more like, hey, just made peanut butter sandwiches for the kids for lunch. It was something simple like that. And I know for Kelly, it was the same thing. This was all new to us, but there's a huge reason why we want to be intentional with how we use our social media. So if you are a business builder and you decide, I want to build this business, then at that point, if you're all in, your social media becomes basically, it's your magazine, it's your branding, it's all of that. And in order to new people, in order to be able to connect with people, we have to be able to build trust. So I wrote a couple of books a little bit later in this presentation that I'm going to want you to write down the names of. But this in particular, the first one I'm going to talk about is one called The Like Switch. And it talks about how in order to build trust and build friendships, as an undercover FBI agent who had to go, and he was deep undercover, and he had to make friendships with people who were disgusting, horrible criminals who had done some of the worst things. He had to build trust with them and become their friends. So in order to do that, he had to know how to build relationships and build trust. So 3 things he said we need are proximity, intensity, and duration for friendships, to build true friendships. Think about your best friends. Whether there's some best friends we have that we don't have to talk to all the time. We can just pick up where we left off. But at some point, to build that friendship, you had to be close, be together, hang out, talk on the phone. You were together. You had to have intensity. So at some point you had to have a deeper relationship, more than just hi, cute baby, but something a more intense conversation. And then duration, you would have known them for a while. So in order for us to build friendships and to build trust on social media, we need to, when we're reaching out to people, when we're going through our list of 100 and you put maybe 5 to 10 of those names, you're like, you know what, I think that this will help these friends, but you haven't talked to them in a while. We don't go up to them and just say, hey, you want to buy a challenge pack? We have to rebuild those friendships. We have to reinsert ourselves into their lives to build that proximity intensity and give it a little bit of time to build for the duration. So those 3 things are very important to getting to that point where we can invite them. The second thing is we were created as the way we were created, our bodies, especially back in caveman times, people had, when they saw another person approaching, they had this long to decide whether they were dangerous and were going to kill them or whether they were safe. We were created with these micro expressions, all right? So you can see on this person's face all the little expressions that you can see. Oh yeah, that person, she's mad there, she's disgusted, she's afraid, she's sad, she's determined. We all have these. A really fun show to watch at some point if you ever get a chance. At least a few episodes of one called Lie to Me, and it's this guy you can tell, and he breaks apart all the micro expressions, how he can tell someone's lying. A lot of times we can instinctively tell whether someone's lying or whether they're telling the truth. And I cannot see the chat right now, just in case you're messaging me, but I will look afterwards. But we can automatically many times look at someone and say they're lying or they're not trustworthy. The same thing can be said for they're trustworthy. So this is where we're going to talk about selfies. That's the other thing that we get a lot of times is, what about the selfies? I don't want to be part of that selfie, self-indulged culture. It's not. What we're doing is we are trying to build relationship, proximity, intensity, duration. We're trying to build relationship and trust. The easiest way for people to trust us is when they can see our face. Like you can see by this girl's face, she's not necessarily someone you'd probably want to hang out with all these expressions she has on her face, right? So we build trust quickly when you take your picture of you with your shake and you're all excited, or you're having a hard day and you're like, and then you explain what your expression means. It helps people relate to you, not just the words that you're typing, but they start to build that relationship with you. So that's why it's important to understand it's not that selfie culture. It truly is building that relationship, and one of the things I like to think of, I'm Catholic. I love Pope John Paul II. I really admire him and everything he did. And one of the things he talked about was the new evangelization. So my personal Facebook feed, I see it as a way to evangelize, a way to be the light and to reach out and put some light and life into someone else's life. And if we look at it that way, it really helps to kind of take away that, a little bit of that fear of, what are people going to think, So it's important for you in social media to be who you were created to be. I love that quote. It's by St. Catherine of Siena. I love it by a saint. She says, be who you were created to be and you'll set the world on fire. Be unashamedly yourself. If you are not you, it will be hard to gain that trust. You have to be yourself. Super important. And, and I was talking, the next thing I'm going to talk about is vulnerability. The key to being yourself is letting people in to see the real you. Now, I had this conversation with Andrea yesterday on the soccer fields, and one of the things that we were saying is being vulnerable doesn't mean you're going to spill your life. You're not going to spill your guts onto social media. Some of us will spill a little bit of our guts out. I know I have. I know Kelly has. But it's part of our mission and it's part of our branding to share those deep, squishy parts sometimes, But not everyone has to do that. But you do have to be you. So if, it's like Rebecca Bain has her quote, my poop stained life. And she talks about all the crazy stuff with her kids. Well, that is her real life. She could sit there and worry about people thinking she's not such a great mom, but she just shares all the craziness. And other people are always like, me too, me too. Guys, people need to be able to look at our Facebook and say, oh, me too. That's how we find our tribe. That's how we relate. So we want to share our struggles, but we only want to share them after we have overcome them. We do not want to look like a hot mess. The way we don't look like a hot mess is we overcome it and then we share it. For instance, I woke up this morning and I was just in the worst mood ever. I got into a fight with my husband. I was grumpy with my kids, and it was looking to be one of the worst days. And then I remembered that if I just spend 10 minutes in prayer, maybe it'll turn my day around. So I sat down, I spent 10 minutes in prayer with my God, and the next thing you knew, I had a different attitude. I apologized to my husband. I apologized to my kids. My whole day is better. Don't forget to start your day in prayer. There you take a crappy morning, you turn it into a message, and you deliver a solution to other people. Okay? One of the things that I did recently, it was a really hard post for me to do, is I thought that I could be pregnant. I double peaked in my cycle, and I lost track of what was going on, and I was like, oh crap. My machine said that I did this double peak thing. I thought, oh my gosh, I could be pregnant. And I cried. It was a really hard thing for me. I wasn't ready for that. And finally, I felt the Lord just say to me, Michelle, I have plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope in the future. And I said, Lord, I trust in you. I give it to you. And then I did a video and I shared what I was in the middle, because I knew that a lot of my market, a lot of my friends struggle with the same thing. And that was a really hard video to do, because I also knew that I could be judged by my friends who don't believe the way I do and that I love very much. But I came up with my solution. I shared it. And I got a ton of me toos coming back. A ton of private messages from people sharing their stories and pouring their hearts out. So it's huge to be able to open up. Now, not everyone has to open up at that level. It's all at different levels. So don't freak out if you're not ready for it. We take it one step at a time. Kelly, you're gonna have to wave at me if I go over. I've just got so much stuff. The one thing to remember is, the more you repel the people who are not like you, the more you will attract the people who are. One of the biggest fears that people have, I had this fear, Kelly had this fear, Angie Bradley had this fear. If you see her, she's another mom of 9 on the team. It's that my friends are going to not like me. My market's not going to agree, not going to want to be my friend anymore. People aren't going to want to connect with me. Well, here's the thing. We need to think, it's thinking about, who do we want to spend time with? Who do we really want to attract? Who do we want to be connected with? So the more that we are ourselves, and we're not hiding, but we're not afraid to share our beliefs, to share things in a kind, loving manner, we might repel some people who aren't like us. But we're going to attract more people who are, and who share our heart. Oh, Kelly texted me. I better look at this real quick. Am I going over? Oh, it's 8:37. I have 10 minutes, and it will be 9:45. Thank you. I'm in trouble. So I love Kelly. We were great teammates. So accountability partners. So books to help with building trust in relationships are the charisma myth. If you struggle with knowing how to relate to other people, I had major social. I was very socially kept, because I was a homeschooler, that in a world when homeschool wasn't big, and I had a lot of things that had me socially behind for years. Reading the charisma myth was really good for me. There are certain things that I had no clue why people would react in certain ways, and I learned that. So if you ever feel, or if you feel like, you know what, I would like to be better in this, it's an amazing book, because it breaks it down. The light switch is the same thing. It breaks down relationships. A book called Persuasion can be they all can be used for manipulation, or they can be used to learn how to understand people and how to love them and relate to them. Of course, how to win friends and influence people. So now getting to our basic social media. When you go to your page, it is so important that when your people are scrolling Facebook and they see a comment or they see a post, they need to be able to look at your little profile pic when it's really small and tell that it's you. I still, right now, I don't remember who this is. I don't remember. One of my friends, okay? I can't see her face. So you want people, when they're scrolling and looking, they're going to see that. You see that picture of me and Trent? It's bright colors. It's the face with Trent. But people know that that's me. So make sure that when you go to your page, you have a picture of you. It can be you and your husband, you and your kid, but it needs to be to where your head is no smaller than mine is in this picture. Your cover photo should be a representation of your life. It does not have to look as great as that one does. I'm a graphics person. I love graphics. However, you can use PicMonkey to do something similar to, I made an almost exact copy on PicMonkey on the team calls. You'll find a copy of the call where I walk through how to do it. It doesn't have to look that great, but to give a representation of who you are in your life, it's kind of important. It's like when you make a new friend, they're going to go to your page, and it's kind of like going to a magazine. What does the cover of your magazine say? What are people going to be able to figure out from that? And then look at this other girl, this other friend of mine, Janine. Love her. But her cover photo, it doesn't say anything about her. So you want people to go to your page, and they kind of like going to a magazine, like, oh, I want to get to know this person. You're trying to attract people to want to get to know you better. So it's very important. If you want, through any of this, if you want me to walk with you through your social media, I do social media audits. Message me and let's set it up. You will just have to be like a pit bull sometimes, because sometimes I forget to get back, and I'm just going to let you know that right now. But I do not mind being bugged. I love to do this stuff. So if you want that, let me know. So you need to know what your brand is, and that means, like, who are you? So again, we're gonna be making friends with people that we don't really know. So when they come to our page, they need to have an idea of who we are, and it has to be real. What are your 5 pillars? What are 5 things about you that make up who you are? For me, it's my faith, it's fitness, it's family, fashion and makeup. Man, I can't escape it. I'm not so good at it, but I love it. And it's not finances, man. I suck at finances. I'll figure that out someday. But it's like a country and outdoorsy and all that kind of stuff. And so it's figuring out what are the 5 things you're going to talk about and share about that's going to add value to the people who friend you. Because you want to add value, you want to inspire, you want to motivate, you want to connect. And again, we can go over this stuff. You want to do the scroll test. Go to your page. Just kind of scroll through. What are the first 5 things you look at? Do they reflect who you are? When a stranger walks up and looks at your stuff, what do you want them to see? Who are you? Never post for the sake of posting. Always post with purpose. So I think we all make this mistake sometimes. We're like, oh crap, I haven't posted all day. What can I post? I mean, I still do it on occasion. However, we really need to be careful not to do that if we can help it. But always have a reason to share what you're going to share, instead of just like throwing a picture up and being like, giving a diary of what your day was like. It's not going to attract people to you. In fact, it'll increase when they're scrolling. We want scroll stoppers. We want people to be scrolling their Facebook feed and say, oh, what's that? So when you're putting your posts and stuff together, think about that. What's going to make someone stop? It could just be a funny picture. When you post, speak to your avatar. So you're going to want to know who you want to attract. Who is that person that you would love to have in your challenge groups or have on your team? What are her struggles? What are her hurts, her failures, or dreams? Usually, this is going to be who you were 3 steps ago. What were your struggles 3 steps ago? Because you know yourself intimately. You know your struggles. You know your hardships. So you know how to help someone who's where you were 3 steps ago. So if you've been through something crazy, and you've come out of it, you know how to help someone who's in that situation. And you might have 2 avatars. You might have one person who you want to attract for challenge groups, another type of person you want to attract to actually just come in and do the business. Again, we can talk about this, but you need to know who you're talking to when you write your post. Again, back to the importance of the micro expressions and building trust. Going live is a very easy way to build trust. And if you're uncomfortable with going live, first of all, you can do it in the team page first. Try it a few times in the team page. Safe environment. You're surrounded by a bunch of other people who are trying to get out of their comfort zones there. And you know that you're going to carry, there's so many amazing people on our team. But if on your page, if you go live and you're uncomfortable, and this is something the charisma myth talks about, and I love the stuff that book teaches. But one of the things it says is if you're uncomfortable, say you're uncomfortable. It's the same thing. If you go to an interview and you sit down and for some reason the sun's squinting in your eyes and you're like this, you know, to even tell the person that you're talking to, hey, if you see this expression on my face, it's just because of the way the light's reflecting, just so you know that. So you get on a live video. Just so, and Rebecca Huff did this, and she did an amazing job. Gets on live video. She says, I've never done a live video before. I'm really nervous about this. So if I seem uncomfortable, I am very uncomfortable. Right there, you take down their walls. They're not going to look at you and be like, oh my gosh, she looks uncomfortable. Because you just said, I'm so uncomfortable. All of a sudden, it's like, wow, she's brave. You know what I mean? It's that mindset switch. We just have to lead with our fears and explain it. And people will relate, because I'll tell you what, everybody else is probably, most people are probably nervous about the same thing. So do's and don'ts. Do respond every time someone comments on one of your posts. Respond to the post. When someone likes your post, you can respond with them with the thank you message. Thanks so much for liking my post, my transformation post. I just really appreciated your support in this. You know, we're just out of curiosity, are you into fitness too? Or, you know, you can kind of turn it around, but making that connection helps build conversations and, again, connections. Do not post your Beachbody links in a main post. Do not. DONOT, post links. I did it before. Kelly did it before. We've all done it before, and that's why we're telling you don't do it. Learn from our mistakes. You don't send a link until someone is ready to buy, and then you send a specific link. And we'll talk to you again. This is just an overview. So consistency is the key. As you start posting on Facebook and social media, you kind of pick the things that are most important to you, whether it's fashion, you want to post about a latest makeup product you got, or whether it's, you know, living fearlessly, or whether it's a scripture or your faith, being consistent. So try to, if you're consistent, right now you're never posting on Facebook, post once a day and work up to 2 times a day, and eventually to 3 to 5 times a day. So it's not about going in and completely being the opposite of what you've been all the time, but it is about being consistent and slowly building that over time. Again, I love this picture. It was so fun. If you call them, they will come. If you know, the more that you are yourself, the more you speak to your avatar, the more that people feel like they can trust you and they can connect with you by being real. Again, you want to be real. You do not want to attract someone who's not like you, because you're going to get them. They're going to become a coach and you're not going to know what the heck to do with them. You know? So be real, reach out, and your business will build. You'll meet people. I can tell you right now, there's people on this call who I, didn't know before. And now I know now. Alexis is one of them. I met her through my Lenten group. It's a joy. Mayana I met through a friend, but I've had Amanda Mance. I met her through a free challenge. And a lot of you guys, it's anyway. Is that helpful?
Thank you. That was really good. I think like what Michelle was sharing is so good, because it's like if you're tracking and doing the business side and then you're sharing with the Facebook side, it's like the 2 pillars of, you know what I mean? Like you need, that way you kind of keep organized, but then you also get to share. And I love all the tips that you shared. It was really good. I was reading through the comments while you were, and I just wanted to answer a couple of things from and then if anybody has any other questions, that's okay. I was just going to, the app is the Finish Line Leader app, but there's also a Coach mobile app Beachbody offers, that you can upload from I believe you have to go to the online office to upload it to your phone. Do you know, Michelle?
Yeah. It's not really an app so much as it is just it's taking a link, and there is it's in the online office. It explains how to do it. We can walk.
But that's the other. And then Simple Coach Links is a place you want to write that down, because it's a place to get the direct links. I forgot to mention that. Mobile formatted web page. There you go. The other thing I just wanted to mention is to be an active coach, it's 50 personal volume. And as you increase in rank, it goes up a little bit. Like a diamond coach, it's 90, but by drinking Shakeology, you meet that requirement. Or if you have a customer underneath you ordering Shakeology, you reach that requirement. And then when a coach signs up, if they have not already ordered a challenge pack, you do get SC points from that sign up. But if they ordered one before, you don't get a point for a coach. It's just for the whatever they purchased, either at the sign up or beforehand. So just those were a couple things.
Well, the other thing too, before I forget, is if you hit Success Club 5 in your first 3 months of coaching, then you earn a free ticket to the Summit conference. You get a free ticket to go. So that's another thing that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so totally forgot about that. And I love that you shared those PD books. We have an old personal development document that I'm going to pull back up and post in our new team page. And we can add books to it as we read them. So that way, if you're looking for something that you want to, say Sarah, if you want to read a book and you don't know what on, like those were great for social media. There's some that are good for inviting. There's some that are good for confidence and different things. We have a document, so I'm going to be sharing that. I wrote it down so I don't forget. Yes, if you come to Summit this year, which we would love, there's space in our house. We rented a house in New Orleans, and my father-in-law is a caterer, and we'll be catering a couple of our meals, which it's really good. So Sarah's coming for the food.
I'm sorry, my brain's getting caught up in this other conversation on the side. That food's going to be amazing. So for Success Club, if you start in, let's say like Andrea, did you start in March, Andrea?
It's 30 days from the day you sign up is the first month. So if you started March 20th, you have until April 20th to hit Success Club to qualify. So your first 30 days, if you hit Success Club, you earn a call with Carl Deichler. And then do it for 3 months in a row and you get a free ticket. So it's 30 days from your sign up day. Congrats. Now you're making me hungry. I hope this was helpful. The other question that Andrea had asked, premium Beachbody On Demand, like your premium club membership is Beachbody On Demand. So if you're paying for the premium membership, that's the perk, is you get to stream all of the programs. All Access is a little different. You have to upgrade to that, where you get every single program. But the premium membership is the one that's like $12.99 a month, or you pay quarterly, or if you pay for the whole year, you can get All Access. So
the All Access is that too. So if you got the All Access Challenge Pack, you have
But that's what the premium club is versus a free club membership, where you just have like, you can access the blogs and you can track your weight and measurements. The premium content also offers like a meal planning tool, and there's some other things that are on there that are a little bit of an upgrade. But the most important is the workouts that you stream. Did you guys have any other oh good, Alyssa. I overcomplicate things too. We can be like buddies in that. Super Saturday or Sunday this weekend too. All this is in the weekly forecast though, so you guys can check that out. But I'm glad that you guys are here. I hope this was really helpful. I think it went really well, Michelle. First time doing it all together, but as you're welcome to come to our hope is every time revisiting this information, even for myself, like hearing the social media stuff helps me kind of recalibrate, talking to you about this stuff. That's what I was trying to tell you. Don't try to master it. As you teach it to your coaches and your challengers, that's how you almost become better, because you have to think about it and process it yourself. So
yeah, and just reach out. Like if you want a social media audit, reach out. I'll do a social media audit. Or Kelly, if you want to get some extra help on figuring out volume and all that kind of stuff, she's amazing. Ask questions. Go to the team page. Ask questions in team page. Yeah. I see a lot of you on there doing that, but that's what it's there for. We're a family. We help each other out. This is just a great way to ask questions and learn something maybe a little bit new. So it'll be a little different every time.
Yeah. And what I would recommend from here is if you haven't taken a look in the description of the team page, just so you know it's there, print off the simple business plan so you have it, because there's a lot of really good tools there. And if you haven't yet, meet with your coach, set up that first call so you can talk about, because even if you're in this for the community, you want to tell your coach your fitness goals and your goals for the challenge, and really get to know what you want out of the team part of this experience. It's an important call to set up. And yeah, and anything we can do to help. If you need help organizing stuff, I'm happy to help. That's kind of like my jam. I think it's kind of fun. But yeah, our Michelle's really great with social media branding, not vomiting in private messages, because I used to do that all the time. So, but thank you guys for your time. I'll get this recording up too. So if any of you guys have people on your team you want to share this with, make sure you can tag them in the morning. I'll have it up. I just have to let it upload overnight. So,
all right, guys, thank you so much for hopping on the call.
Have a good night.